Listen to part of a discussion in a public health class.
Before we begin our class today, I'd like to ask you a question. Has anyone heard of epidemiology before, or know what it is?
Isn't it something to do with epidemics? It's the study of diseases in human populations.
That's correct, Gerald. Good work. Let me rephrase that a little. So, epidemiology is the study of the distribution and determinants of disease and health conditions in specified populations. Simply put, it is a branch of medical science that deals with epidemics, that is, diseases that affect a large number of people within a region, population, or community. Through epidemiology, we have been able to identify and quantify health risks and learn a great deal about the incidence and causes of diseases. Such epidemiological studies typically begin with a research question or a hypothesis to be answered. As an example, when we are concerned with finding the connection between drinking alcohol and heart disease, we could ask the following research question: do people who drink more alcohol have a higher risk of heart disease? The researcher then will conduct the investigation with a study design he or she has selected. The study design can broadly fall into two categories: observational or experimental. In an observational study, the researcher measures or surveys members of a sample without manipulation or intervention. This means the researcher will simply observe what is happening and record what he or she observes without trying to affect the members or variables in the study. This type of study will try to show that there may be a relationship between variables, but not necessarily a cause and effect relationship. Generally, observational studies provide weaker empirical evidence than experimental studies. So, even if the observational study turns out to show a cause and effect relationship, the evidence provided by the study will be considered too weak. Unlike observational studies, experimental studies are ones where the researcher has control over subjects or variables. In an experimental study, the researcher will randomly assign a treatment to a group in order to draw the cause and effect.
Question 4. How does the professor begin the lecture? Question 5. Why does the professor mention the connection between drinking alcohol and heart disease?